think if you go backwards again, if you look at the Constitutional Court itself, it ruled that the bill was unconstitutional. And legally, though I'm not a lawyer, it's stripped of its legal standing, then it can never be resuscitated in Parliament. Yes, that's what it means. That then we saw it being resuscitated in Parliament. What is also very disappointing is that I think the report from the technical committee was not taken into consideration. The bill was taken back to Parliament. I think the president didn't enough time. Remember, I think it was just within 24 hours, the bill was taken back, which means that they didn't take into account the which were presented in the report. So I think that's very unfortunate. It affected the members of Parliament to take above board and side with the Zambians. When people are saying this is wrong, I think they should have just assessed what the demands are from the people and worked accordingly. But it's quite disappointing. The members of Parliament decided to promote their own personal interest against the people. So it will go down in history. Those who are members of Parliament for what they have done, depending on how the future turns out, they may be made to account for their actions. Because remember, they also contempt sermons that were supposed to be served at Parliament, which the people who are serving those sermons face some challenges. So that's I think, story for another day. But right now we are saying we are quite sad that we are amending the Constitution, I think, which was unilaterally initiated by the President. I remind you of how the whole process started. The President announced in Kasama that we have all agreed to amend the Constitution. And then we inquired amongst ourselves and said there's no one who has agreed with him. He went to Mungu, he announced that you don't even know what is in this draft Constitution and yet you are arguing with me. Which means the process was initiated and it was even halfway done without the involvement of the people and other stakeholders. So the president unilaterally, the executive unilaterally started the process, and then they expected everyone to buy in, to support it, and then it concluded, which I think is very unfair. And that's why the Constitutional Court ruled constitutional. Therefore, it was stripped of its legal standing, made it, I think, void from the onset. So that's what we understand. So it's quite unfortunate that the members of Parliament, because for me, the poison that was in Bill 10 is still the same poison in Bill 7. What has changed right now? So it's just, I think, selfishness of the leaders. So this is what we can call it.
Yes, selfishness. Honorable Mulewe, do you also agree that it doesn't represent the will of whatever happened yesterday?
My opinion really is, let me say I agree with everything that Ackim Njobvu has said. But when it comes to my side, I'm an independent MP. So when I realized that I was to be in Parliament to vote for, either vote for or against 7, I realized that I needed to consult with people in my constituency. But the time that I had was very short. I think Wednesday last week. I could only travel on Friday, meet people, so I was trying to mobilize people so that I can have an audience with them, at least not everybody, but the inner circle of my team. Yes, because I had earlier mentioned to them what was going on. So I said, can you sensitize the people over? So, but it was not possible for me to round people up because I'm from a rural constituency. And people are busy working in their fields right now. So since I didn't have the mandate from my constituents, I decided I was not going to go voting for the bill because I did, unlike everybody else, as an independent, when UPND could not adopt me in 2021, people said, go independent, vote for you. So for me, my masters are the people at the grassroots level. So I could not make a major decision without seeking for their guidance. Otherwise, Yeah, I've read here and there how the Zambians are furious about the decision that was made. So, speaking for my constituency, I realized I needed to do this the right way, not the opinion of I didn't vote for myself. The people that are at the grassroots are the ones that did everything, supported me, voted for me. So it's just wise that I do what is palatable to them.
All right. So now,
Let me shake your hand. That's what leaders do.
It was just about
Obviously, from the repercussions we are receiving, it comes out clearly that there was no consultation with people. Whether selfish ambitions, I wouldn't know what those ambitions are, because I've always argued that we get into politics for different reasons. People have different agendas. Some people think politics is the place where you can make easy money, so on. So the motivation then is on money. Then there are also those of us that saw the sufferings of our people and realized, can't let our people suffer in this manner. I'm going there to serve them. So my priority when I'm doing whatever I'm doing, priority is my people. I can never, ever digress from that. I don't care who comes to me, say what. My priority is to listen to the people. So as for the other MPs, it's difficult for me to say because I don't know how they relate constituencies. But obviously, from what we've seen and heard from the majority of the people, there were a lot of insults on social media yesterday. So I think for those that maybe I can assume that they went for their own interest rather than what the people wanted at grassroots level.
all right. So one question before I move on. Where they
Absolutely. I was going to participate, definitely. But I couldn't because I had from them. To me, that's what matters, really. I know I've seen some people are meeting me, they don't want to talk to me, they're giving me faces. Who cares? They didn't bring me here. They didn't vote for me. I care about the people who voted for me.
hear from you. What happened? Parliament. I know that a lot of Zambians that are watching this program, some of them were expecting a different result.
Yes.
Do you feel Zambians are very disappointed with the MPs that represent them in Parliament, and they will lose trust going forward?
Definitely. I think, like Honorable has mentioned, that there were a lot of insults, action on social media. Simply means that Zambians appointed them because of Parliament. Maybe talk about the opposition. Maybe we can give a benefit of doubt to the ruling, but to the opposition, especially about 30 of them who voted the bill. What does it tell the Zambians? Which means I think there is even used to think that TPF can lead the opposition, but they have clearly demonstrated that they can't lead the opposition. So it's very disappointing that we still have members of Parliament who are not representing the people where they come from. Must take you backwards. I think at the time the technical committee was going around the country, remember the chiefs in Eastern Province and also the chiefs in Northern, they said, give us a bit of time so that we consult with the people. Exactly what Honorable said. I need to consult the people, not representing myself. I'm representing the people. So I need to get the views of the people. After the people decide, then I go to Parliament or I go to the technical committee and give you the answer or the views of our people. Then that's what you're supposed to take. But other members of Parliament, they clearly have demonstrated that they are not actually representing the people, they're representing themselves. So definitely, when people go there, they go there for different reasons. So it's quite disappointing that we're at a stage where the citizens, the general citizen, now have a question mark about the members of Parliament that they have. Already for me, if I was voting in his constituency, I would give him a vote. I think he has acted, I think, in a very unique way. These are the people that we need. People are patriotic, people love the country, and people really walk the talk. When you say I'm representing the people, you need to demonstrate. Don't just talk about representing the people, but you need to demonstrate. So this is the demonstration that Honorable has shown to us. This is what the Zambians expect from every member of Parliament. So quite right now, I think they're disappointed with the members of Parliament. It will be very difficult for most of them, I think, to retain their seats.
Yeah. Right. So now, the time that you had, government had, rather the president,
yes,
that the bill was
mm-hmm.
because obviously the court asked for further consultation.
Mm-hmm.
Even after that, some people were saying the process, right, it's not that we're saying, but how did you feel? Because obviously, mm-hmm. you understanding that it was labeled as unconstitutional,
yes,
which means it wasn't supposed to go on.
Yes.
But it went on. What was your disappointment?
My disappointment was that, first of all, my thought was that they're independent. Yeah, because if you look at the Constitutional Court, it rules that something is unconstitutional. Then definitely it's not supposed to be you standing in Parliament. You can't talk about defilement. It's supposed to be withdrawn completely because its legal standing was stripped off. So definitely that no legal standing, no legal status. If it has got no legal status, then it can't be in Parliament. So it wasn't even supposed to be suspended. Yes, the president suspended it a day before. Then the following day we had the Constitution. So after the constitutional ruling, the right procedure was supposed to be followed where the bill was supposed to be completely withdrawn from Parliament. We are talking about the amendment. We could have started a new process and given it another number. It could have been bill 10 or bill something. But yeah, or bill 8, yes. So the fact that the bill was not withdrawn completely, that means there's a problem between Parliament, court, maybe between the two. We won't even blame the executive because the executive, they did their part by withdrawing it, by deferring it. So which means they did their part, but the court and Parliament should have ensured that they should have followed the ruling from the Constitutional Court to make sure that the bill is withdrawn. Yes.
Right. Let's how did you feel when you saw that the bill wasn't completely withdrawn? It was actually deferred and it taken into Parliament.
Well, I don't think I have a different version apart from what President. No, technically no, because I've done a bit of law, and I'm trying to be polite. I'm British trained, so I did my law training in the UK. And among the modules I took, for example, in company law, employment law, and criminal law, of course, tort law as well. You can do the right thing, but if you do not follow the process, null and void. So just the fact that there were so many wrangles, there's never been a constitutional amendment that has had so many cries from the public. I can say from the time, is it 1990, 1991, when the MMD rose up, the people spoke. Dr. Kaunda said, fine, this is what you want. As long as we have peace and stability, he brought in multipartism. In 1996, we had the Monacatri Constitutional Amendment. I went to submit to the Manakato Constitutional Amendment. It was done peacefully, nicely. The process was followed. Then we had the Mungomba Commission. Again, we didn't have so many wrangles like we have witnessed now. Then we had the Mvunga Commission. All these other commissions put together, they cannot match the kind of outcry that we've seen in this single constitutional amendment. It grieves my heart, and I'll be candid here. I'm a Christian by faith, and I'm not ashamed to say that. It is so important every time God gives you a chance to lead his people, to lead them right.
Why is it?
You are not the creator of the people. The people belong to God. I'll tell you a story. Sorry for lack of the right term. But there is an incident in the Bible. After Solomon was ushered into office, God appeared to him in his sleep. And God asked him to say, Solomon, what do you want me to do for you? And Solomon said, Lord, you've given me a huge task to lead your people. I want you to give me wisdom to lead your people. What he was simply saying is, I want to lead them in a way that you will approve, even you as God will be happy that my people are being led properly. So we see, of course, there is something happened later on. But what I'm trying to say is, when I came into office as an MP, I made the same prayer to God. Lord, I never dreamt I would be an MP one day. But according to Proverbs chapter 5 verse 3, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding. This is what I've always banked on. I don't want to operate or do things without being careful that I'm dealing with God's creation. So I prayed the same prayer. Can you please give me wisdom to represent your people in Kaflafuta? And my argument has always been, my service, before anything else, my service must be to God. If I can serve God properly, then I'll serve his people properly.
All right, let's get. Hello, good evening. Fine, how are you this evening? Please give us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, thank you. How are you? Oh, right.
Your name, sir. All right, please go ahead.
If one of the people who voted for Bill 7 was also there, because they claim by the honorable to say him he consulted and he listened to the people he reads. Who told him that those who voted for Bill 7 did not consult the people? Huh? You know, a coin has got two sides. Don't think that the way you see it from the angle you are standing is how the other person who is on the other angle also sees it. The truth of the matter is that members of parliament are people's representatives. They don't need to be bribed for them to do a right thing. All of these people that have been opposing this bill, no one has pointed at any clause to say this clause is harmful or dangerous to the democracy of this country. Those who were questioning some clauses, it has been amended to suit the views of the people. But why are the people want to demean people who went to their constituencies and ask the people the view how they must vote? Just because you are doing my politics. I do not always want to do my politics on important national matters. I have a question to my honorable there. So my honorable, if the ECZ will come to your constituency and tell you to say we are going to delegate your constituency, are you going to refuse or you are going to agree?
Well, if they have made...
You answer me first, you answer me, let me contribute. I don't have to be cut short by the moderator.
Mr. Mkosa, please, you need to wrap up. We have a lot of posts.
Yes. Now, you see, my brother, some people, they believe they are the only Zambians. Once other people does something, they do something, it is not Zambian. They have been saying the initiative of the bill was supposed to be done by the people. Are the people in the executive not the people, not the Zambian people? When you look at our constitution only gives 3 people of Panga bill. Is either a member of parliament initiating a motion or a private citizen instructing a member of parliament to do that, or the executive. In this case, it is the president who initiated the bill. What is wrong with that?
So can I answer him?
So these people, my brother, as long as we entertain people who don't need to this nation, always be going around the same circle, will not progress. What are they afraid
Thank you so much.
This bill has been passed. Let us see what the fruits that it will bring. Let us can you tell us? We have to let
you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. Remember, when you call, remember to be brief. Obviously.
Can I respond to him?
Honorable.
Yeah. First of all, he missed my point when I said I had to consult my people. And if he's saying those MPs who voted, didn't they consult with you? If they consulted with their people, why are the people insulting? So he is not fair. He didn't understand what I said and where I was coming from. I could not support the bill because I did not have time to consult with my people.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So I don't understand where it's coming from. More Zambian than saying I'm more Zambian than anybody.
People, so I didn't have the time to consult. That's why I didn't take part in the voting. But I think he was already fixed and charged with his whatever he wanted to say. That's why I think he has misled himself. Maybe we can forgive him.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know Honorable Mkosha is part of UPND, so I'm sure with that anger. But definitely we want to be objective in our discussion.
Right.
Yes.
Now, he mentioned one thing. Most of the people that were shooting down, we're not pointing out what clause wrong in the bill.
Mr. Manza, the first thing is the process itself. Like I mentioned, he talked about members of parliament, the executive, the ordinary citizen. We are saying the president unilaterally did this. Is this what is supposed to happen? You remember 2 statements were made before we started the discussion started on Bill 7. In Kasama, he said, we have all agreed to amend the constitution. Who did he agree with? He agreed with himself. The next he went to Mongo and said, you don't even know what is in this draft constitution. You are arguing with me. Which means he had already started the process alone. So like the Constitutional Court ruled said, you can't start something unilaterally. We need the public participation, wider public participation in the process. That's why there's that aspect of the referendum where the citizens get involved, so to also limit even parliamentary power, because parliament cannot just decide on its own to amend the constitution. We need the participation of the people. So what is likely?
We needed the referendum in this case.
Yes, well, we needed the referendum. If not a referendum, if they had put the technical committee in place before anything started, the reading in parliament and all that, it could have been accepted. But the problem is the way it was initiated. That's the first problem that we have. Not talking about the contents. The contents, I think we have got different positions. That's why we are saying we needed more time, because there's a lot of debate around the contents again. A lot of sections are pointing at different clauses and saying this, maybe we needed to do it this way. That's why I'm saying there's not enough time for us to deliberate on these matters before the elections. Now the bill has passed. Then you're looking at, we just close the voter registration. They are going to do delimitation. Where will I fall? Am I going to be in the same constituency, or they will change the constituency? So there's that process that is coming after the president assents to the bill. So all these are issues that we need to talk about. There we can go into details and think to argue about the clauses, I think which we have tried. So the issue is that, first of all, we are talking about the process. The way it was just initiated, the people were not involved. Even at the time the technical committee went around to get the views of the people. What happened? They submit a report today. Tomorrow the bill is back in Parliament. Did the president read the report? Which means he most likely didn't read. So these are the concerns that the people have, to say you need to carry us together when you are amending the constitution. It's a very important document that is dear to every citizen. But if you want to do it because you are the president, then I think you are being unfair to every citizen. So that's why we had expected the members of Parliament to help the citizens, to say, I think the process wasn't right, therefore we are going back, we need to go back to the people, we engage each other. Like Honorable said, you needed more time to engage the people, to say, okay, now this was rejected, we are starting a new process, and then what do you have to tell me? So that when I go to Parliament, I carry your answer to submit at Parliament. That's what they needed to do. But they have betrayed the citizens, because now they went there themselves, not consulting the people. And Mr. Mkosha was saying, how do you know that these people didn't consult their members? Honorable has answered, said, why are they insulting if they were consulted? If they were consulted, they wouldn't have been agitated by the outcome of the Bill 7 voting. So that's what we want to tell the citizens, that the citizens were left out in the process. The executive decided to conclude the process by themselves, which is not right.
All right, let's pick up another call. We have a caller. Hello, good evening. Good evening, thank you. Your name and where you're calling us from, sir. Yes, Mr. Moses, please go ahead. Okay, please reduce the volume on your TV set, Mr. Moses. From grade 1 up to grade 9. Promise to school. There are through CDA we are 2022. It is Kumarikura, Parapena and Demitasha, Rotamago Terepio 7. So at least you are honorable. Now money government, before the why did you support Bill 7? Bill 7 actually support Bagaramba. You feel na mieva. Aba honorable constituency umwa kutafuta constituency Karambasa. Mamona. Echo na support Bill 7. Futi na chimbi echo na support Bill 7. Tunafuwa yama youth tabale kwa bale boza vyama kutuleshi nji Bagaramba.
naibwa mayuthi bayako mu parliament muli balera njira z'enebika bana maayo bayako mu parliament balera njira z'enebika abajisemuki baliko mu parliament balera njira z'enebika ebintu bikwalanja kwakali ebyo byonse twalibiramja kwakali sinzi mumwemuti bonse ama opposition ama civil society balenda require inclusive parliament bajero president baletichi kuti mwamugula chita opposed manje mulatu ama politics wa honorable dayawa mugula chita politics na pachintu chiri very straight but if you mu ipiwu chifi ine chimwe mu chinturu chimwe chikubeni leta development ku bantu mwamona ape development ku bantu kushinga baya kanyayire kakuta constituency bamugula kwata 80 million baona reputa mune chimona ize mwati kakuta constituency yalulo area ikaba develop
Can I respond to him? Moses cha kutampirapo mufiro kwishoka ati yo delimitation mulera ndapo te constituency yonse tema constituencies yonse akaba delimited muka flafta mu 2021 number of registered voters was slightly above 21,000. Yo 21,000 tulenda kuma constituencies ayenga fwaika delimitation ni namba ya muwadi fyeimo. Yo 21,000 wazi muka flafuta monse. Ero namba ya ndaka yoko wati momulo ya ndapari kambuwa nende ya ndapari ka flafuta yonse. Apandera ndana imwe ama projects tuwa chita muka flafuta ali sikiste from the time na injile mu office. Umamu ine muri Pimjefo twale lomba then na CDF and so on and so forth. So ngamanda ati yo ma politics nshimule extra. Lekeni myewe ineni newa chitile campaign UPND single-handedly mu 2021. Pa president wali wina pama councilor zawali 8 na kwetepo 7 council chairperson wali pita the only office yo wa UPND tawapitile wazi ya kwa independent office yandi apepo na wewe nati apanga mwaisa mulesa la ine. So lekeni nyewe you are not more UPND than I am. Inena ali support na results yali moneka chali monoko ati apapali pito maume ukulanda foko wati yo na refa yo kumfwa abantu fe baralanda mkwatesa yote mulandu yeyo ndechindika abantu abamvotewe because ndachako ati nala ibombera kuchira kumfa ku bantu abamvotere nishinshire bachindika yo and by nature na rafo muntu wa mchinshi otekwe ati ndechita oppose development yo na nini wakaya patwe ndana ba projects twabo mbali sikiste. So I think tamachinko nkafe wino fena chiranda ngamachinko ngamachita
honorable. I think I've seen having they already come in charge without understanding what you said.
Exactly.
Said I didn't have the feedback from the people, that's why I didn't vote.
Yes.
And you haven't blamed any member of parliament. No, you said me. I didn't have the feedback from the people, that's why I didn't vote. I think for me that is justifiable, and I think that has really shown that you're a straightforward person. I'm sure the people of Kaflafuta should give you another vote, another chance.
It's your campaign manager. Let's pick up another call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you this evening?
I'm very sweet, and how are you doing this evening?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm better than you, actually.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Please give us your name.
My name is Muntumusuzu. I'm calling you from Lusaka, Zambia.
I haven't heard from you in a long time.
No, I'm very much around. God is great.
Please,
Allah Akbar.
please go ahead.
I'm very happy with the panel that you have reviewed. Good evening, panel.
Good evening, thanks to all, sir.
I'm educated by what you are saying. Please understand that ignorance sometimes has no cure. The one person can't just come and say that I'm supporting seven because of the limitation, leaving out all the other atrocities that are in the bill. President Hakainde Hichilema himself told you that ukadya nshaba wapeza kuti nshaba imozi yola going to take out everything. Isn't that what he said himself? So, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the watershed moment. This country is at the watershed moment. What has happened in this country is unprecedented, and it has completely changed the course of this nation. We have lost conscience. We are told people were paid 3 million and everything, all the money, people were thrown somewhere, given money. So you are starved first in order to you are starved into submission. The church mother bodies, the Catholic church mother body, the bishop of Catholic bishops, all the church, including Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, the Law Association of Zambia rejects everything, and government goes on. Have you ever seen it, Panel? Panel, have you ever seen that?
No.
That is unprecedented. It has never happened in this country. Because even KK himself, when the Catholic spoke, he listened. President Chiluba, when the Catholic spoke, he listened. President Rupia Banda, when the Catholic spoke, he listened. President Levi Patrick Mwanawasa, when the Catholic spoke, he listened. Edgar Lungu listened. But now we have a president who has bulldozed the entire process to fit himself. This is the classic, unprecedented, and it will be written in the history of this country. So for those who voted for this bill, for starting to judge them harshly, and I very much frankly reviews that this thing has been. And you see, I don't know really what is there, because these people knew that there's nothing obtaining for them, and they think that by subverting people's views like this, they're going to make it in 2026. But this animal, God works in mysterious manner. So this country, ladies and gentlemen, it requires a lot of prayers at this moment, and it requires strong men. It requires real men. Real men like Celestina Mukandile. Real men who are standing up to this evil that has befallen this country. Allow me to end here so that I can reserve some energy for another program.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Yes, obviously your reaction to...
I think he's gotten our viewpoints, and it's gratifying to know that actually there are people who have followed the context of what we are saying, and they've got it right. He's one of them who has done so. Other than people who have just come because I didn't vote, their energies are now charged against me, without understanding why I didn't vote. Because if he was in my constituency or something, whatever, he's a stakeholder to the Constitution. I mean, that's not an individual's document, that's a people's document. So, like Mr. Njobvu has already said it, when you don't have people's participation, it ceases to be people's document.
Okay. Mr. Njobvu, why do you think ND rush to, even after the people have said to say this is not a priority, we don't need it. We've got other challenges that we should look at, and that's where you should set your energy on. But obviously they went ahead and we are now here.
For me, I think, like I've mentioned before, it's like you want to marry. You find the girl today, then tomorrow you want to marry. That means there's something that you want to hide, that you don't want the other party to know before they go into marriage. So definitely there are motives, I think, that the people of Zambia would discover very soon. Yes, there are hidden motives, because you can't rush such a process. Imagine, I've just given you the example of the technical committee presenting a report today. He needed to read, study that report, and then direct what can be included, or have discussed with whoever we are drafting to say this you can include, this you cannot. But they didn't have. Within 24 hours, that bill was back in Parliament. Why were they rushing? So it means there's something that is hidden that they want to achieve. Or they know exactly, they worked out everything. I had said before that the president and the party were being hypocritical. Even at the time they called for that dialogue, they were being hypocritical. Even at the time they constituted that technical committee, they were being hypocritical. They had already made up their mind that they knew exactly what they were going to do. They said whatever the concerns of the Zambian people, that's not something that would deter us. They were already determined to conclude this process. And they were, by all means, they were already determined. So I'm sure you've heard even the allegations. Why pay people if truly they are just doing their ordinary job? When you're at Parliament, you're representing the people. And when you need to vote, you start something, you vote. But why should others be paid? If those allegations are true, then it's very unfortunate. They should have paid all the Zambians 3 million so that as they go to participate, then they know that, okay, we are doing something that is illegal, but at least they have paid us. So I think this is very unfortunate, and that I think explains it, that there's some hidden motives. Because Mr. Mwanza, if I'm coming to you to push something that is in the national interest, I don't need to pay you. I just need to explain to you to say these are the benefits to the Zambian people, and we are doing this to cure this and that. If you talk about this, what one of the callers, Moses, pointed out, the participation of the young people, the participation of women, we've given examples to say that time when the Honorable Garinko was relieved of his duties, we had an opportunity to see a woman being appointed. We had an opportunity to see a disabled being appointed, or a young person being appointed, but that did not happen. We saw that they went for an elderly person. We wanted to see the balance, the president walking the talk, but that did not happen. We're talking about by-elections, saying we are tired of by-elections, but they have continued to create by-elections. Most of these by-elections that we've had, I think there are things that we could have corrected by just engaging or having a discussion. Look at the Tassila case, where I think we have unfairly treated her. What will posterity say about us? What legacy are they going to leave? What is President HH going to, what type of legacy does he want to leave? Does he want to leave a legacy where he be pointed out as to be the president of confusion? I think that is not right. He could have done better.
Okay.
Yes.
More calls are still coming in. We'll pick up more of your calls. We still have calls. Otherwise, we have to get your let's pick up one more call before we get back to my... Yeah. Someone calling. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Hello, my brother. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Thank you so much. I'm Pande here.
Sampande.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much. For me, my brother, allow me to greet your guest.
Please go ahead.
Good evening, Honorable and Mr. President there.
Good evening, thank you.
Thank you so much. For me, I find people that criticize Bill number 7 to lack something to criticize about.
What do you mean when you say that?
My brother, let's talk about the content in Bill number 7 and what is bad in that bill. Honestly, can someone criticize and say it's bad to have the presidential petition be heard and the judgment be passed? Because that's what is in that bill.
Mr. Mpande,
yes, sir.
have you listened to most of the criticism that is coming from?
Now let's I listen to them.
What do you have to say about that?
The people that are criticizing Bill number 7, one of the individuals that I hate criticizing the Bill number 7, they are saying in Bill number 7 there is an increment of the term of the president from 5 to 8 years. I stand to be corrected if you didn't hear that yourself as a moderator, my brother.
I want you to comment on the process, because that's what most people are criticizing. Even my panelists here are criticizing the process. They're saying it wasn't rightfully done. What do you have to say about it?
My brother, the process of that Bill number 7, the Constitutional Court, when it went to the Constitutional Court, the court guided, and they said you need to constitute a technical committee. And the president, in fact, the president, when he met the stakeholders, that bill was postponed before even the Concord gave that judgment. I think you agree with me.
Yes, I know about that. Yes.
The president postponed that process before the Concord judgment came. And when the president was guided, when the Constitutional Court guided to say the executive needed to constitute the technical committee, and the executive did just that what the court guided about. And that process went through the country and people gave their submissions. And out of what was in that bill, some of the issues that were in that bill that the people rejected, those who appeared before the technical committee. One of the individuals who appeared before the technical committee is Honorable Christopher Kangombe. And my brother, I think you know the caliber of the person Christopher Kangombe is. And he made his own submission that he made to the committee. And when yesterday he was contributing to the debate, he even said to say, what I didn't agree, what I saw to be a danger to democracy and what I saw to be a danger to the country, I submitted against. And the government exactly changed those clauses and they agreed with my submission. And it would be illogical for me to run away from the process that I feel I contributed to some of the things that the executive have changed. And for me, this is what all of us want. I don't know, you can ask the MP for Kafuta, I know that he didn't support the bill number 7. If he doesn't agree that his constituency needs to be delimited, if he does agree, then it is pointless for him to have run away from the process that he to agree. So for me, my brother, let's change the attitude of that we disagree. We don't like it, we don't like the UPND. That is very unfortunate. We will never develop that kind of thinking.
All right. Thank you so much. We need to let you go, Mr. Mpande. Thank you so much. No, we've given you more than enough time, Mr. Mpande. I'm sure you can more than 2 minutes. Let's give chance to others as well. Thank you so much. Before you proceed, let's pick up one call. Hello? Yes, let's have
well, Mr. Mpande and I always agree. Okay, every time I've come here, he calls in and we agree and all. But what he has missed is, like he said, I ran away. What he has missed is very simple.
Maybe you need to make it clear again.
Yeah, I needed to consult the electorate from my constituency and get a go-ahead. It's very wrong of him to say, if you don't like HH, because I campaigned for him. And from the day I came to Parliament, I have been debating with UPND. I've been voting with UPND. So where's my head?
All right, let's pick up a call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Njobvu Njava.
Thank you so much.
South Africa, Mkwai. Inchurako sana matontonganyo. Kozi na ishuko kwe bati. Discipline yonse yaturape ifunde. Orofyo okubera okupanga ifunde, wandu wakana toba. Abapangira kwe ifunde, wantu abashitoba amafunde. Bapangira ifunde, wantu abatoba amafunde, na abantu abapanga ichibi ibera kukukisoma nomba. Ushepa kupanga ifunde, watobe ifunde. Nomba nishirire ifunde, ika mbashani, nefyo narandire efyo, because bakoti bagirandiro kwe batawe, kulingana nefyo tupanga amafunde ifi, nefyo kiringiri okuba. Nokumva bamfa, again nomba bachinja, nokonkefire beba bakoti, which means natawre konkefire ranga bakoti nishi, watobe ifunde, bayayipangira ifyabo bagire funde bagibikako nomba wapange funde nabutobe funde bapange funde nomba nishirire funde ikava pesa shirengira sana oro tu bagishobokwe bati opposition, it's a party of government. The main opposition party yakwata chimfurunganya ichakole bati wa government tekibabule ya opposition party okuyibika mu issues ya mama affairs ya chalo because tairi wino nomba babula genira opposition ishiri straight ya chita support rupapuro rwa chalo ushena chiwe na usheni chire sumishiwa ekibabe batikasolve problem pro mwana sta participate mu affairs ya chalo tubanga kwa
Omunkonge twa mwana tumina mafona. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. You're through to Millennium TV. Give us your name.
Initially, Nego Moses now, whether I can go quick push my question, every day I go quick push about Bakalamba.
Okay.
I'm a questioning with the number one question. We were honorable, our president of Njobvu.
Okay.
Bushe constitution ya Zambia since 1964 potwa pogerecha potwa milo kwanga constitution. Wali ba constitution yowa chitamendi charo waya ipushe charo chonze na kumushikonze waya ipusha ba mama kumushikulya kumwesu kuzerenje waya ipusha kwa muchinda kulya waya bepusha jifisho ko mule kwa constitution waya ipusha omuntu wonse wa Zambia. Bushe yali kiteka kwebyo ko twatambira okitamendi constitution no ko twakopera obuntungwa. That is question number 1. Question number 2. Bushe abantu abaleza kota bill 7 abantu abagana bill 7 wamona bantu ilo obunayishwa mu Zambia we democracy ayi bakalama so kile mwebe kwati mu Zambia abantu abashire support bill 7 bena Zambian more every special than those who support bill 7 wamona. That is number 2. In question ya number 2. Apo wanja sikubushi. Abantu kwali babantu mu Zambia mu baba special. Ero kwali babantu mu Zambia ama expert. Bena bafuwa kwa vyati bena fe koma vingi bali mu constitution muri amwe ne basangwa mona bena. Ijoro ila constitution manje yaba ya chalo. That is my question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moses. For your question.
Yes, I think it's quite clear. What we must say is that I think in the past there's been wider consultation than we have seen now.
Wider?
Yes, wider consultation like Honorable mentioned. There's been these commissions that have been there before. Unless they were saying that they want to use what was reported in these commissions, that's what they want to rely on in amending the constitution. It would have been a different story. But what we are saying is that they're missing the point. What we are saying is that the process, the way it was initiated, was wrong. Then at a time, yes, the bill was deferred by the president, but at the time the Constitutional Court ruled that it was unconstitutional, it made it illegal. That from the onset, when it's illegal, supposed now not only to be deferred, but withdrawn. Because there was a new ruling. The president was right in deferring it, maybe, but when the Constitutional Court ruled that it was unconstitutional, it was supposed to be withdrawn complete because it had no legal standing. Its legal status was stripped off. That's what was supposed to happen. So maybe the issue now, that's why we said maybe we need to have a good discussion on our judiciary and parliament. Are they really independent? Those are topics for another day. But what we are saying is that before there used to be wider consultation. That's why I think it's different from this one. Then the second one, he said, however they should support Bill 7 and those who are not supporting, are they not people? We didn't say that. What we are saying is that we wanted a process that is correct, and then when there are people who are still discussing, you needed more time to say, let's deliberate on these matters before you close them. if you go backward, you see the way the process was initiated. It was initiated by one person, which means we needed a lot of time to discuss these things that were initiated by one person. So that's why he's saying the time is not enough, because the process was started by one person. Us now who are joining it on the way, we need more time to look at the things that you have described in non-contentious, so that when we discuss, then we tell you that these are actually contentious, we need to remove this, we need to add that. So that, I think the first question, I've told him that before there used to be wider consultation than we've seen now. Then secondly, all parties are respected. But what we are saying is we want the law to be respected. We want the Constitutional Court ruling or judgment to be respected by everyone. Then that way we're going to have confidence in our judiciary. We're going to have confidence in Parliament. You saw when the bill passed, what did the Speaker do? She started dancing, celebrating. Munaona ko referee bola ya sira binangu wawina mbwesta celebrate. That means there's a problem. I don't know why Zambians want to be blind to that. That simply speaks, it speaks volumes. That was unacceptable and uncalled for. I've never seen that happen. That's why we are seeing unique things happening. So UPND will go down in history as a very unique party, supporting wrong things and not having regard to what the court says. Because
Mr.
Yes.
One of the callers mentioned you in the opposite. No, recently we heard the president
mention it.
In his presidential speech,
yes.
Say,
in fact, it's the second time. No one hates him. People hate lies, hate unfulfilled promises. This is what the Zambians hate. They don't hate him. Imagine 2.8 million people vote for you. Then why should you say that you hate me? 2.8 million people have voted for you. 4 years down the line at Munizonda. It's not true. It's not true. I think it's just he was emotional. Yes, he was emotional. No one hates him. We love him as our president. We belong to different political parties, but he's still our president. So we love him. We even want to see him succeed. When we criticize him, it's because what he's doing is not benefiting the citizens.
So you want the best out?
We want the best out of him. For me, I will put it on record that I've commended him for free education. I've commended him for reducing cadarism, and I commended him for increasing CDF. So it's only that we don't have enough resources to be able to provide. Maybe the Honorable should tell us whether he has already received the full amount for 2025 in his constituency. Because what I know is that other constituencies haven't received the full CDF amount for 2025 because the government doesn't have enough resources. That's the challenge that we face right now. That's why you see certain sectors were saying, why can't we use those resources? Let's import electricity so that the businesses can also thrive. You see, businesses are shutting down and we don't have a constitutional crisis. Why can't we, for now, let's see, import electricity. We give the businesses so that they thrive. Our youths don't lose the employment opportunities, and also that the issue of the cost of living can also be attended to in some way. So those are the issues that we want to talk about. Maybe pointing out on delimitation. Yes, there were 13 clauses in the bill, but the most sensitive one was the issue of delimitation. In the past, when the whole process started, for me, I asked the government to say, you didn't first of all put the budget, there was no budget line for this constitution amendment process. So which means you have just woken up and decided, because you have seen an opportunity for you maybe to stay longer in power or to do something that we are unaware of. Because there was no line in the budget for 2025 budget that there was going to be any constitution amendment. Then I asked to say, what about the issues of the nominations? Remember, initially, those nominated members of parliament, it wasn't clear how many would be nominated. Second, we asked them, which constituencies do you want to do delimitation? It was quiet. We started quizzing. And recently, in a few weeks, I think, back, we heard them say, the previous regimes, what they used to do is they used to do delimitation and favor themselves in their strongholds. So now, they have told us their motive, that they want to adjust that and do a lot of delimitation in their strongholds, which I think is not right. We need to do it based on the demands and the population, like Honorable said. There are certain constituencies which cannot be delimited because of the number of people. It's not just about the land mass. No, I don't think so. Then if we talk about development, I don't think that the constituencies are not developed because they are huge. No, it's because we don't have resources. If we can say the constituencies are large, that's why they're not developed. Let's increase CDF to 100 million or to 150. Then that 150 will be able to do quite a lot. Honorable works with councillors there, and I think Honorable, you are not part of the committees before the bill.
No.
Yes. So which means the councillors and others have been the ones to work in the constituencies. Honorable can tell them to say, okay, since I'm not part of the committee, I want you in your constituency, you're going to come up to build a school, you are going to build a school. Development was going to be there even if it was vast. Even if Honorable was not going to manage to visit all the wards, but at least you would have an idea to say, this is what is obtaining in this ward, therefore, these funds, lobby for these funds so that you start building a school. So for me, I don't believe that the underdevelopment is because the constituencies are large, no. It's because we don't have enough resources. If we have enough resources, we can increase CDF to 150 so that development can be seen. So that now we begin to build schools, we begin to build hospitals and good roads. But because the resources are not enough, and remember the administration of CDF has been very bad. The minister is on record, the finance minister is on record. He said that a lot will be arrested because of CDF. So which means he knows exactly what CDF has also caused. A lot of them will find themselves in prison. So remember there was also an incident here in Lusaka where the Lusaka City Council gave loans to beneficiaries who cannot be traced. All those are challenges that CDF has faced. But it doesn't mean that the increasing CDF was bad. It was a good thing. But the challenge we face today, the reality is that we don't have resources as a country. Yes, and maybe to put it on record again, remember when the US ambassador visited State House to see the president pay a courtesy call last time? He told the president that you have failed to use your resources to improve the living standards of your people. It's not me who is saying that, it is the US ambassador who said that. So we cannot continue to blame the opposition when they point out things that are wrong. We need to tell the president to commend him when he does the right thing. Even when I went to State House last time, he made a pronouncement to say, we want to legislate free education. I supported him because it's good. Yes, so we need to support what is good and of course critique what is wrong. That's what we stand for. We need to represent the people, not to represent ourselves. So the Honorable has demonstrated clearly that this is what good leadership is all about. You need to carry the message of the people and take it to where it needs to be taken, at a table where discussions are happening. Before decisions are made, let the views of the people be presented so that when people make these decisions or make the laws, are aware of what the people's desires are. We don't know whether it's true what has been alleged about Christopher Kangombe, that he was saying that he was caring more about his family than the people. So we want leaders who are going to represent the people, not only the families or themselves. So we demand more from our leaders that they need to carry the message of the people, the wish of the people. So when we talk about the process not being initiated by the ordinary citizens, but by the president, doesn't mean that we hate him. We don't hate him. No. If we hated him, 2.8 million Zambians wouldn't have voted for him. So that assertion is misplaced completely, that there's anyone who hates our president. I don't think so. It's just a feeling.
You don't hate him.
No, I don't hate him. Why would I hate him? I've got no personal problem. Yes, but if he continues, I think, to move on the track that he's on right now, I think I would definitely, but not to hate him, but I will not support him. I will not support him.
Challenge him.
Yes, I will always challenge him. When he does something wrong, I'll challenge him. When he does something right, I'll commend him. For when we talk about Bill 10, he was in the forefront to say we shouldn't do this. And the church supported him. Oasis Forum supported him. And other stakeholders supported him. But now the same things that are there, the same poison that was in Bill 10, it's under his care now. He supports it. And everyone who says no, they are seen to be haters. Why should it be that way?
Yeah. Honorable, your conclusion.
Yeah, well, let me quickly say, we owe the Zambian people everything that we are. Because had we told them that when I go to Parliament, I will work against you, they would have not voted for us. We promised you want a loyal servant who will listen to you. This is the man. That is what won me the election. And it would be very, very wrong of me to to ignore, or first of all, to go against my own word. Not part of me. I love President Hakainde Hichilema. Ask him, even in a corner where nobody's hearing. I know he was voted for throughout the country, but in my constituency, single-handedly campaigned for him and I comfortably won him the election. Out of 8 councillors, I got 7. Council chairperson, everything. And from the time I came to Parliament, I've always debated and voted with UPN. This is the only time that I've said no. This is a big thing that I cannot make a decision on my own. The people's document, so I better go back to the people. The gentleman said the previous amendments, did they have to go asking everyone? No. But it was announced, this event is taking place at such a place. And those who had the interest went there and made submissions. Exactly. So I think we need to learn the way we do our politics in Zambia, because we are, it looks like we are not civilized. All we know is, okay, you belong to this party, and I belong to this party, so all our dealings is to engage each other in arguments. No, that's not how you do politics. There are issues of national interest where we should always put aside our personal differences or political differences so that the real issues can be addressed. You don't need to misinterpret a simple and straightforward issue. Like consulting with people, you take it that I hate him, I hate the president. How ridiculous can one be?
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And the viewers, thank you so much as well.